Hello, you are watching my YouTube channel. I'm your host Kamran Arshad. Today I've invited a guest for my vlog and I want to discuss her life, her visions, her goals, and most importantly, her field. Hello guys and welcome again. We are delighted to have Bushra Latif here today with us. Bushra, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Kamran, for having me here.
All right, Bushra, before to start this interview, could you please tell us what inspired you to pursue a career as founder and CEO at Nani.pk, an AI innovator and tech entrepreneur, marketing strategist, professional chef, and art enthusiast? And perhaps share a bit about your journey leading up to your current role, ma'am.
Sure, Kamran, I have a very interesting journey to be shared here
Mm-hmm.
because I have a very different background for what I'm actually working on. I never had a technical background. I
Mm-hmm.
was I was a professional chef before I started my career in technology, and uh, way before that, I was an English literature student. So there's a lot of artistic sense that's there in me, and then that's how
The most
um,
important thing, ma'am,
even
how
if
do
you
you
look
manage all
overall.
because you are the only one. And how do you manage all these steps? Because if I talk about any profession, and they definitely need our time, they definitely need priority, concentration, focus. So how do you manage all the things, all the steps?
The thing is, Kamran, that I have always been like this. I have always kept changing my careers.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this ability of learning things really fast. So
Mm-hmm.
that sort of helped me
Mm-hmm.
in being the jack of all trades in
A
that
master
way.
of none.
When coming, yes.
All right.
So coming back to your question of why I opted to open Nani and how did the idea came in. So basically, I am from a remote district in KPK. It's
Mm-hmm.
Dera Ismail Khan. It's a tier three city. So I experienced this problem firsthand when I used to notice the mothers around me, like my sister-in-law, mother of three. I realized that parents residing in tier two and tier three cities, their only resort for sourcing the baby products like
Mm-hmm.
formula, something as basic as formula, and particular diaper brands was either bulk buying or they literally had to call somebody in to a bigger city and get the things delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was delivering in tier two and tier three cities by then.
Uh,
And then I was like, this is such a basic commodity, and why isn't anybody working
mm-hmm.
over it?
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed this market gap. I was like, oh my god, that's a like it's an 8.5 billion market, and nobody's like really addressing this gap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started Nani.pk. We started out as a marketplace. Firstly, there wasn't any kids marketplace back then when we
Mm-hmm.
started out. Now, like we have few of them, but it wasn't just a place. It was we were also providing contextualized content for parents, which was very scarce at that time. And like we proceeded, we did not just exist as a marketplace. We opted for three digital products, which was Nani Ki Kahaniyan, Nani Ke Totke, and Shugufta Ke Masal, where Shugufta is the mother and Nani addresses her concern. So these three digital products really got the hype, and that's how we came to know that okay, the manufacturing industry in Pakistan, that also like sort of needs the data of what parents are asking, and what their concerns are, because like we Pakistanis, we all know that data in Pakistan is really scarce. So you don't get data from anywhere. So even if like you're gonna start anything like in any business you want to start or any field you want to opt in, there's no available data. It's just like you have to experiment, just go to the market and experiment. So that's how we realized a lot of things. We then opened our SaaS product, which was delivery of basic diapering and formula all over Pakistan. And something really interesting that I would like to add here is that when I announced that we are opening up the subscription model of delivering diapering and formula. So there was somebody from FATA who messaged me on LinkedIn, and they were, "Oh, do you deliver to FATA as well?" I was like, "We deliver to the last remotest village." So yeah, that was the thing. Which was that I wanted to provide that convenience because I experienced it firsthand. Not being a mother myself, but obviously, like the mothers I used to notice. So that's how Nani came into being. Being the a mother care brand, we opted for the name Nani because it's very popular in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And the whole brand image behind Nani was the amalgamation of contemporary knowledge and old world wisdom. Because if you look at the thing that we millennials, what do we do when we have a problem? We just open Google, we just ask Google. So because we have seen internet transition, the parents the people who are becoming parents now, there's a lot of generation gap when it comes to us and our parents. So that's why Nani it's a digital Nani. So you get the old world wisdom and you get contemporary knowledge.
He will guide
Yeah.
all the new people, right, who are getting married in future,
Yes.
that how to take the life, how to take
Yes.
the responsibilities of that. It's a very serious issue, I think so. Because it's a dilemma in our society. If a person who
And
is
I was
ready to getting married with
exactly,
someone,
exactly.
he doesn't know the ethics of getting married. He doesn't know the rights of a woman who is becoming his wife. He actually just think that he is the husband and he has all rights on her. He actually forget that he's a girl as well.
Of course, plus Kamran, there's with the adoption of nuclear family system, it's become very difficult for new mothers who are millennials of getting the guidance from their elders, and then they don't want to totally rely on the guidance of the elders. They want the scientific proven record with it. So that's how the millennial mindset works. Like we need a study or a proven track record along with
And
what
how
we have
can
been
we
told by our
study? We don't
grandparents.
have enough time to study anything, but we don't have mental counseling institutions as well. This is actually the thing.
Of course, of course,
If you talk
of
about
course,
Europe, if you
of
talk
course.
about America or any other country, so they have marital counseling institutions. They go to there, they share their problems with them, then they will get medicine or counseling from them, and they apply, and they are doing a very happy life. But in Pakistan, we only says that he is able to get married. Okay, find a girl, and we will arrange a wedding ceremony of him. So this is actually the problem. No one is willing to address that. So what is the solution of
Of
this?
course,
What do you
Kamran,
think?
especially in child care. I mean, obviously we don't operate with how the initial marriage stages or anything, but we are very focused on the childcare segment of we start the guidance when a woman gets pregnant
Hmm.
and she is facing all the changes in her body, in her mindset. So that's where we actually start. That's when I talk about contextualized content. So that was really scarce when it comes to motherhood or when it comes to parenting in general. So
Um,
that's the market gap that we addressed, and we just not just exist as a marketplace.
hmm. All right. Bushra, did you ever think early that you would have all this one day, that you would be the CEO and a founder of an institution, and you will have the people, and you will know the people pulse? Did you ever think early about you? It's a very personal question. I don't know if it's
Uh,
relevant or not.
no. So, Kamran, to be honest, it's like entrepreneurship is very different. It's
Yeah.
not for the weak. It's
Hmm.
like
You just
you
know the
need to
spelling
be
of
in the
that one, you
arena
know?
constantly, and it's yes. Yes. So basically, you need to be in the market. You need to be in the arena. When I say that, I mean that you should have that ability of never giving up.
Hmm.
So when you don't give up, I mean, amazing things happen. So initially, I just wanted a marketplace and nothing else. But when we dived into the market, we noticed, okay, like this is also missing. We can probably opt to this. So, like startups, they always work like on hit and trial. So basically you have to test the market. Like I said, there's no data available in Pakistan. So whenever you're like starting out something, and especially when like they're startups, so what's basically the definition of startup? Something, you know like you are a problem solver as an entrepreneur, or you are somebody who can notice a market gap and then address it. So that's how we started it out, but it's always hit and trial. I mean, you have to test the market once you're in it. And then it's very easy, because in startups you have to make very quick decisions. You can't just operate as typical businesses or traditional businesses, because you have to pivot according to the time of what's happening around. Like there was an age of internet, and then there's an AI age that we are experiencing right now. So there's always pivoting going on. There's always the entrepreneur has to be really, really active when
Yeah.
it comes to, and very resilient. Yes.
All right, let's change the mood and let's move on, ma'am. As an expert in AI, what do you believe are the most promising developments in artificial intelligence that will significantly impact industries in the next 5 years?
Oh, so this is a very interesting question, Kamran. People who are not acquainted with AI, it's I mean, they don't have an idea yet, but people like us who work in the technology segment or sector, we all know that AI is going to be as default in all the companies as is a checkout on the website. So I mean the world is going to change in like
Mm,
another 3 to 5 years. I
mm,
mean, people who lag behind, or companies who don't opt for AI initially, they are literally gonna struggle. Even in the
mm,
job market sector, it's really gonna affect.
mm.
Because when we talk about large language models and how amazing they are becoming with every passing day, I mean, it's becoming more advanced and it's becoming more personalized. So when we talk about we operate in a very emotional market. So AI was everywhere, but making it culturally sensitive or emotionally sensitive, that was something that we needed to crack. So we did crack the code, and we made our AI culturally sensitive. So that, because that's the market we operate in the childcare segment, it's more connected to emotions than it's to anything else.
That's great. Well, we are using the AI. We don't know the word of productivity, right? Do you agree on that? How to use that in productive way?
Of course. I
All right,
mean,
then tell me
look,
one thing.
Kamran,
I have
AI
a
has.
question in my mind. Don't you think that we have
Sure.
become lazy with AI because we don't research more as we used to do more and more research? We manage the time for researching and developing.
Basically,
We are just using the AI, and we need shortcuts. We need to find some shortcuts. We make them and we do that. And after that, when someone comes to us and he asks a question beyond that uh, uh, assignment, so we got silent, we got panic.
so okay, Kamran, there's a thing. There's always pros and cons for everything, right?
Definitely.
Um, when we talk about that, okay, AI has made us lazy. There's another perspective to it. Maybe AI has made us more efficient. In a way, we can save up the time that we used to spend researching and researching. So we can save up that time and utilize it somewhere else. So there's always two sides of the story.
That's why
So
I asked this
I
question
mean,
from
you
you.
need to, yes. So it's like it depends on how you look at it or what your perspective is accordingly. I mean, if you AI basically automates everything. So
Hmm.
that basically leaves a lot of time for us to focus on more important tasks. So that's my perspective on the productivity when it comes to
Hmm.
AI.
That's a good answer. Bushra, how is your company positions to leverage these advancements?
Yeah, so Kamran, like I said, that we started out as an e-commerce and then we opted for a SaaS product and we launched digital products as well.
Mm,
So those initial 2 years, they were like we were testing the childcare market of how it operates and everything. And
mm,
then, with the wave of AI that has come and me being the tech enthusiast,
mm,
the first that the GPT was launched, we tested out. I trained the team, my basically my team about it. We wanted more productivity. We wanted to streamline and we wanted to automate the systems that we were operating.
mm,
So in the meanwhile, initially we made our Nani AI, which basically gives you empathetic advice, and it was the first one by then when we made it. It's like 6 months ago. It was the first one in Urdu because there's no data available in Urdu. So basically, the AI wasn't operating in Urdu because there was no data to basically train AI on Urdu. Um, and looking at the Pakistani population, obviously the housewives they would love to speak to the AI in Urdu. So it basically makes it very easy for them. So the moms who weren't very tech savvy, that problem was solved through our AI. But then we realized initially, so it was like it was giving empathetic advices to the mothers. So the desi nani totkas to the mothers, along with obviously the doctor advice. And then it was acting as a personal shopper for new mothers who don't know what to buy for their children, right? So it was the combination of both. Um, and initially, we only made our Nani AI for Nani particularly. But
mm,
like we realized, I realized that the Urdu chatbot that we made, which was culturally sensitive in the childcare segment,
sorry.
it cannot just exist for one platform like Nani. But now, since like I talked about the pivoting in the startups, so we have recently pivoted. We have closed down uh, the marketplace operations, and we have become a fully AI company
Mm,
because we want to sell our basically subscription of our um, Urdu chatbot to
mm,
all the childcare segments, to all the childcare websites, basically.
mm. All
So it
right.
could not just exist as just a Nani AI because
Mm.
it was so big and it was so interesting. I mean,
Who suggested
all
you the name
the
of
childcare,
Nani?
yes, because when we look at the culture of Pakistan, it's like the new mothers. I mean, you would relate to it perfectly. Your sisters or your wife. I mean, they don't ask from their mother-in-law, but they prefer the advice of their own mother. So that's how the Nani thing came in because it was a mother care brand.
Mm,
Yes.
that's great. All right. Can you share some of the biggest challenges you have faced as a solo founder managing your company? Definitely.
That's an interesting question, Kamran.
Mm. That's why I said
I
definitely.
started, yes.
Because there
So
are a lot of
basically,
challenges
I
often
am
there, like a harassment issue. If
of
someone wants
course.
to do something in Pakistan, I'm talking about the female stuff, right? So they have to face the harassment issues. They have to face the domination problem as well. They have to face the thing that if you are confident, so no one will like you because they will levelize you. They will try to levelize you. They will try to hurt you, right? They will do the things which hurt you. So these are the challenges definitely you have faced. So I would like to ask those challenges, how you overcome on that.
So, okay, so Kamran, like you asked two different questions. One is the solo entrepreneurship, and it's generic. It comes to men as well. And then is being a woman entrepreneur. So that's a different question. I'll answer the first one first. Um, Solo entrepreneurship is very difficult. Again, it has pros and cons. Um, I mean, there is definitely a burnout when it comes to being a solo entrepreneur, because all the responsibility lies on you. Your team looks up to you, and you have to literally solve every problem that comes in the way. But at the same time, there's a lot of pros as well, because you are the only decision maker. You get
Yeah.
things accelerated really fast, and you know, and then there's no um, problem. Basically, choosing a wrong co-founder can literally cost you your company. So that is something that I look into as well. So there's always like pros and cons. It just goes hand by hand. I actually enjoy being solo entrepreneur at
Mhm.
times, and at times there's a lot of burnout because there's a lot of responsibility and
Yeah.
there's a lot of work that you have to do. So yeah, it's both ways.
Mm. And difficulties, being a female, what kind of difficulties you have faced so far?
Uh, yeah. So, Kamran, answering your second question, being a woman entrepreneurs, it is really tough, to be honest. If we look at the statistics, only 2% of the female founders they get funded, right? Everybody talks about empowering women, in the startup ecosystem as well, but nobody's actually doing that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, because when it comes to funding a women-led startup, there's a lot of disparity.
Hmm.
We get asked very different questions,
Hmm.
being the female entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
than our male counterparts.
Hmm.
You know, they make it more tough for us.
Hmm.
They have hard time trusting a woman-led business.
Hmm.
And you know, wait a second, I just have to have water. Can you like
No problem.
pause it for?
No
Yes,
problem.
just give me a second. I just couldn't speak.
No problem. Go ahead.
So yeah, like we were talking, it's like even the VCs agreed to the fact that they were asking very different questions from women entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
because they have like hard time trusting them.
Hmm.
Yeah, like recently there are a lot of women-led initiatives
Hmm.
for women. Like there's eye to eye, there are women focused funds that have been there, but still it's like whenever you just talk to any women entrepreneur, it's difficult. There's a lot of disparity. Yes.
How do you stay updated about the market trends? Do you use social media for that?
Yes, Kamran, LinkedIn is a gold mine. I don't know, people don't
I'm
leverage
sorry to say
LinkedIn.
one thing that you are not active on social media. I just saw you on a LinkedIn profile. I didn't find you uh, on a Facebook, on Insta, or even on WhatsApp as well. You're not very active on that. Why?
So, professionally, Kamran, I just use LinkedIn. I don't use other social media platforms
No,
when it
but it
comes
doesn't
to,
mean
so
that everyone can use LinkedIn. A lot of people, they are just using the Facebook, they are just using the Instagram, and most of them, like me, I'm very active on WhatsApp because it's a personal application. So why you are not active on this platform? Because you are doing a great job. So it is actually the necessary thing for you, because everyone can reach you very easily. This is my point.
yes, so Kamran, the thing is, professionally, I'm just very active on LinkedIn. So, all the activity that goes in professionally, that's on LinkedIn.
Then
But
you have
I
a
do
block option
agree.
as well.
I do.
You have a block option.
No, no,
You
no,
can
no.
block
That's
someone
not the.
if someone irritating you on a Facebook or Instagram or on WhatsApp as well. And you have a block
So
option
no,
everywhere.
there's a thing called balance between professional and personal life.
Yeah.
So I just make sure when I'm out of office, I don't really reply to the work emails by then. So I sort of keep that balance. So when I'm working, I'm all working, but when
Uh,
I'm like taking off, I just wait for another day to sort of get back to the person. But I am active on the WhatsApp. I'm not very active on. I've not made my personal brand
yeah.
on Instagram and Facebook. Though
Mm,
Nani is very active on, obviously, Nani is all across social
mm,
platforms. It's
mm,
there on Instagram, on Facebook, elsewhere. But yes, my personal brand is only on
mm.
LinkedIn. So I've not made it on Instagram. I had a lot of, options that I could create a personal brand on Instagram, because there are different uh, the audience altogether when it comes to Instagram. But that was just a personal choice, that I didn't want my brand, like my personal brand, to be on Instagram, and I just wanted it to exist on LinkedIn.
You are the
Like, I mean,
brand.
considering it's a very professional
You are the
platform.
brand.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Let's move on. Ma'am, how do you balance your roles as a company founder, AI expert, and advocate for women entrepreneurship? What strategies do you employ to manage your time and priority effectively?
So, Kamran, basically, being an advocate for women entrepreneurship, that comes very natural to any women who is operating in the business sector,
Who is
because
working in a
because
society, I think.
yes, because we experience it firsthand, and we make our way up, and it's a hard journey, basically.
Mm,
So because we experience it firsthand, we basically become advocates of women empowerment and women entrepreneurship. But yes, when you ask me about being the CEO and an AI enthusiast, or like managing my own AI project, um, that is because I was always a tech enthusiast. And since I was a solo entrepreneur, I was managing a lot of things. And when it comes to um, being the chief marketing officer in my company, the ideation was coming from me. I don't know, it's a God gifted thing that I am very good with the content creation. So it just naturally exists in me. And because I have the arts background, so it was easier for me to sort of come up with the ideation when it comes to content. But AI was totally, I mean, once you are in the market, you see things, you research, there's a lot of exposure that you get to market. Plus, the startup industry that we operate in, it's very helpful. There are like, it's still very posh. It's like very few people are working in the IT sector, so they're very helpful. I mean, they want to help you in that way. So you get a lot of exposure, and then once you're in the market, you see things happening, and then there's this thing in me that I come up with revenue streams. I come up with new ideas. So that's something natural. Yeah.
you raise your voice about the women rights and difficulties they are suffering in our society, right? You are doing a great job.
Yes.
Then where should we go? Who we raise voice for?
Sorry, I didn't understand your question.
Actually, you are raising your voice about the rights of the women in our society, what difficulties they are suffering from, right? So, who will raise voice for the men? Where should we go?
So okay, Kamran, it's very interesting. So I read it somewhere. It was like everybody is talking about empowering women, but who is creating the men for the empowered women?
Definitely, you are doing
So
Aurat March, and we have to listen a lot of new things on our roads. We have to hear that uh, we have the rights. We want equality. Who will decide
so
men rights or the
so
women?
basically, so okay, Kamran, it's not about equality, it's about equity.
No, no,
You
no.
know, it's
They want
more
equality.
about
They
equity.
actually
So
raise the slogans on the roads in open words. We want equality. Who will decide that they don't have equality in Pakistan?
so there are like two things. There's equality and there's equity.
Hmm.
So when you talk about equality, it's like you take two people and you provide them the same sort of opportunity without looking at their background of where that person is coming from, right?
Yeah.
And then there's equity. Equity means you take two people from the same background who have had the same skills, and then you provide them with the same you call it opportunity. So I'm an advocate of equity, you know, because the thing is, I mean, there's no equality when it comes to men and women, because okay, we operate in very different roles, you know. Women somehow are designed differently, men are designed a lot different. But yes, when it comes to opportunity, there's definitely, like we have talked about it, there's definitely a lack when it comes to opportunity. So I mean, I'm talking about equity that's way more advanced than equality. You know, we have not even started giving the equality. How will we come on equity?
Great.
Right?
Right. Okay, Bushra, what do you do for fun?
So basically, I am a certified chef. Before I joined the technology business, all of my family, they thought I would have a career in food, or will become a canonizer or a restaurateur or anything of that sort. So yeah, cooking is sort of it's a passion for me. Other than that, I usually write thought pieces. Whatever hits me, I love writing. I love reading. Yes.
How do you plan your life? You make goals?
You make sorry, you make what?
Do you make goals?
Of course, I do make goals, but I am somebody who likes surprises. I want life to surprise me. I mean, I can make goals and go on that goal, follow that goal. But again, I mean, the results are always very different. So who knew I would be a product manager and managing an AI company? But you know, life surprises you in different ways.
Great. Do you consider yourself as a positive soul?
Of course, positivity is a way of life. You know?
When someone comes to you in a negative way, what should be your reaction? What do you do then?
So Kamran, there's always a way of handling negativity, and the best way is to just ignore it and go on.
Ignore it. All right. Last question. I want to know about your future goals. Where do you see yourself after 2 years?
After 2 years, so we have recently like pivoted right now into an AI company, and that's how I want to develop it. We want to hit the Saudi market. We want to hit the UAE market. So we want to make Nani international. We want to expand Nani in another 2 years. So that's the goal for now.
That's great. Usha, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really wonderful having you here and learning from your experiences, definitely. But before I wrap up, is there anything you would like to share with our audience or any message?
Yes. Firstly, thank you so much, Kamran, for having me here. I loved the conversation that we had. I think a lot of interesting points that we touched upon. Yes, I would just like to add a message for the youth. We South Asians, we have this, you know, we lack this ability of showing up. And, you know, we are sort of like a little scared when it comes to, you know, doing big things. We don't think big. So I would really want the youth of Pakistan to like think big and opt for entrepreneurship. Because it's like people with degrees, people with intelligence, they don't succeed, but people who never give up, they succeed. So like they say, the universe falls in love with a stubborn heart. So I just live by that. And that's the message that I would want to
Lovely
give to the youth of
advice. Any
Pakistan.
message or any suggestion for me?
I think you're doing great work,
How did you
Kamran,
know that
and
I'm doing a
it's
great
very.
job?
So I've seen a couple of your interviews that you've sent me. So there's a lot of diversity when it comes to the people that you are interviewing. So this is something like really interesting. There are like different subjects that you are touching upon.
Actually, it's my cause to spread positivity in our society and to try to invite those people. People don't have access to them, so it can be the best way to take them, to take their interviews and upload on a YouTube channel from different people, from different fields, from different background and culture. So it will help the society, it will help the people, and definitely it will be the source of learning for me as well. It will groom me, it will help me to improve myself because I want to be like you. You are the successful person, and I pray to you for your life, for your health as well. Thank you so much, ma'am, again. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
so much,
your time.
Kamran, for having me.
Have a blessed day. Take care. Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you. Thank you, Kamran.
Allah Hafiz.